Okay, we're going to start graphing on a coordinate plane. So things to know about a coordinate plane. This, you can think of it as two number lines. Here's a number line and here's a number line. So we have a vertical and a horizontal number line, and they both intersect at this point. That origin is where the 0 is. So that little part means 0 horizontally and 0 vertically, and they're just overlapping. They're just on top of each other. And what we're going to do is find a location using 2 points. So let's start with the notes. To describe location of points in the coordinate plane, we use what's called an ordered pair. And that just means two numbers, 2 because we use the word pairs, and pairs are always in sets of 2s, that have to be in a particular order. The order is important, so the coordinate plane we form x, y. So x and y is our form. I'm going to write this here on the bottom part too. The first coordinate, this one over here, this x, represents the point location from 0 on the x axis. And the x axis is the one that goes from left to right. The second coordinate represents the point's location from 0 on the y-axis. And the y goes up and down. So first coordinate goes from here. It tells you if you're going to go left or right. The second coordinate is going to tell you if you're going up or down. And any point on this coordinate grid is going to gives you actually two pieces of information. It gives you a location from where it is on this line and where it is on this line. Okay, and it's where those two intersections happen. So good rule of thumb, because I have a lot of kids who flip these two numbers around. It's really easy to just get the order backwards. So for some kids, I have them literally write these little arrows on top, where over the X, they go left, right, and over the Y, they go up and down. And I also have some kids think of like analogies, like what is something you do where you have to walk and then go up and down, you change elevation. Where do we run and then change elevation? So one story a kid told me was he thought of a plane and how the plane goes down the runway. It has to run down before it elevates into the air, before it goes up. Another kid told me, well, when I go into my building, I have to walk to the elevator and then the elevator can go down. So some kids think of elevators to get to their floor in the building. I've had some kids think of a fast break in basketball, meaning they steal the ball and the basketball player, he runs down before he jumps up to dunk that basketball. So anytime that we're thinking about running and then changing elevation, like we're going up and down, that's the way it goes. So run, and then we're gonna go up and down and rise. Either one will work. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit because now we're gonna talk more ordered pairs and how to label these correctly, how to get the right points. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell myself a story. I'm going to look at these two numbers and I'm going to tell myself how I'm going to move. How am I going to get there? Like if you're going to the store, how do you get from your house to the store? You tell yourself directions. So again, the 7 is my left, right. So I'm going to move 7 and think from 0 as a positive 7. Am I going 7 to the right of 0 or to the left of 0? You know how you would graph positive 7. You would move 7 to the right. How would you graph positive 2 on a vertical number line? From 0, would you go up or down? Well, it's positive, so you will go up. So that's the story I'm telling myself to help me graph. So again, I'm telling myself from this 0, I'm going to move over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to move up 2. And just be careful as you're counting because sometimes we can make some mistakes. Here's 7 and then up 2. And there's the point 7, 2. And I'll double check just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then up 2. Notice I'm not in the box. I'm not between the two lines. I'm at 7 and up to. So another thing I'm also going to do to help myself is I'm just going to give myself a scale by 5s just to help me. Actually, let's do a scale by 2 just so I can see where my numbers are. Because again, it's very easy to make a mistake with just counting. Very, very easy. So I'm just doing that to help me as I graph. Because we don't want to make silly mistakes and lose points for carelessness and human error. It is natural, but let's try to avoid it from the beginning. Okay, second point. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to tell the story. We have +3 and -4. So start with left to right. +3, I'm going to move 3 to the right. This is a positive number. -4 means I'm going to go 4 down. So I'm going to do that. Let's move 2, here's 3, and down to 4. Okay. Actually, I want that in blue. Here's 3, -4. Next one, I have +1, -5. So I'm going to move 1 to the right, and I'm going to move 5 down. So you see how this is getting easier as I'm thinking of just as 2 number lines. How do I move? So 1, and then I'm going 5 down. 3, 4, here's 5. Again, we're always double checking. I love having my plan here, and you're not going to need this forever. So in the beginning, you might, just to get used to it until you get really, really good at it. But for now, let's just make sure we have it for practice. And as you get better and better, you won't need the scaffold anymore. Okay, now we got some negatives coming up. So -3, so I'm going to move 3 to the left, and +8, 8 up. Okay, 3 to the left, and 2, 4, 6, 8 up. Here's a -3, 8. And lastly, I have -2, -1. So I'm going to go 2 to the left and 1 down. So 2 to the left and 1 down. Here's -2, -1. And so there are all my points, Math Marbles. Here was just my support, which was just to map out my directions. It's like my little map. And then I used my map to move from the 0. We're always starting from the 0 location. Hit pause so you can jot this down into your notes. Good luck as you're graphing ordered pairs. Again, it's very simple to make mistakes, and the mistake most kids make, which I told you before, is that they just mix up their X and their Y. So remember, think like you're a plane, you're moving this way first and then going up and down. Keep that in mind and you'll do well at this. Take care, Math Marbles.